Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back again to JJ's PC Builds. Alright, everybody, make sure you got your drink. I got mine. I always got my drink ready to go on. I kind of kicked it away from coffee for a little while, but if you got coffee, make sure you got coffee as well, because that'll work just as good. Before we get started, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. It would help out the channel. We're still trying to work towards 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And what I mean by 4,000 watch hours is this, that if you watch the video from beginning to end, and you watch a lot of the videos, hopefully all the videos, even if they're goofy or whatever the case is, please do that, because that will build us up to the 4,000 watch hours. We are working vigorously to get monetized. I know y'all been saying I haven't been posting videos out for the last couple days and such. Yeah, I had some doctors and stuff that's been coming up lately, so do bear with me when it all settles down and everything goes back to normal again. I will be making my daily videos, so I just wanted to touch base with y'all on that so you know that I'm not leaving you hanging in the wind. And I want to thank all the new subscribers that I did get. I want to thank you for joining the JJ's PC Builds family. Welcome here. I just wanted to welcome all the new subscribers. It's good to have y'all here. But what we're going to do now, we're going to take and jump right into it, and we're going to get to the juicy stuff, so stick around. We're going to switch screens, so here we go. Alrighty, now we switched the bars, and now we're at the action center, where you see it all. Okay, now the thing is this, they had the Ryzen, was it 7950X3D? They had that come out. Since I don't have all the benchmarks and stuff on it, here's a good thing to look at. We'll go ahead and we'll blow this up for you. I'm not going to get them all in there, but that's something to look at right there. So they got the Ryzen 9 7950X3D, 16 core, 32 thread, 120 watts, $699. Say $700. Okay. Now, that's only for Hitman, you know, and they got Red Dead 2. It's at 234 at 120 watts. So, you know, the problem I see with this is what they're doing is they're making the Ryzen 9, you know, 7950X3D, try to make it look good, but the problem is this. Okay, is it really worth what it says it's worth? Okay, well, here's the 3D version right here. Let's say in Blender, it's only 75. But look at the X version, it's 69. Look at the K version, 74. The K version, see, in productivity, the 3900K is the valued choice. Okay? AMD, don't get mad at me, you know, because I got all AMD in mine, in my system. Okay, but don't get mad at me when I tell you this. Intel Core 9 13900K is matched, 10 I would say at least 5 or 10% higher than your chip, your new processor. The reason is because under workloads and stuff like that, the 7950X3D is just not cutting the mustard. I mean, truthfully, it's not. Because you're looking at these reports right here, I mean, even your 7950X chip is beating your 7950X3D. So I've been talking with a couple friends of mine early this morning, just to let y'all know. So I'm just giving you an idea of what you're going to expect. Is it worth? Okay, this is the question. Is it worth the $700? And that is the question. Is it worth the $700? Y'all can leave a comment below and let me know what you think on it. And, that's going to be the topic of the day is the 7950X3D worth $700? And that's the question. Because your competitor, okay, let's go ahead and just, do a ballpark. Let's do Intel 13900K and get an idea. I mean, now we know it's got 32 threads. We know it's got 24 cores. Okay, compared to the new compared to the Ryzen 9 79, well, that says 7950X. That's not even a good comparison. Let's do this. Let's do the Ryzen 9 7950X3D. And let's do specs. I want to make sure you all understand this. Okay, we're going to go right to Tech Power Up. It's always the go-to, because I know they've got it tested. Okay, see, now we can do the Intel Core, Intel 13th gen, 13900K specs. Okay. So we're gonna go back to back with this. Okay, we're gonna go back to back with this. This right here, this is the 13900K. Okay, it's got 8 cores, 16 E cores, 24 core total, and 32 threads. And it has integrated graphics. Okay, go over here to the 7950X3D. What does it have? Okay, let's gander at it. Okay, the CPU alone has Gen 5 24 lanes. Okay, it's got 16 core, 32 threads. It's got Radeon graphics. It's got 2 CUs. 2 CUs. Okay, understand what that means. The processor that I'm on right now, the The Ryzen 5 5600G has 8. Now you can see the difference why I haven't moved up yet. Problem is, this processor's got 8 CUs on it, and it goes up to 2300 megahertz for the graphics. Integrated graphics goes up 2300 megahertz. So this, on the other hand, the 7950X3D, let's see what it does. Okay, it's got Radeon graphics, but we know it's 2 CUs. It's got 128 meg shared. See this? Shared L3 cache. Okay, it's 1x64 slice. So you take 64. So you take your 128 and you minus your 64. 120. Hold on, we'll get it right. Minus 64. What the? Y'all have this problem with your calculator? Let me know. Because it's 64 and 64. Alright, so 64 megs. 64 megs of L3 cache that's usable. Okay, now with, and I'm going to get this point out clear, with the amount of cores it has, I could tell you this much. For 16 cores and 32 threads, the way the Vcache is working on that, you might as well cut that down into half. Okay, this is the way it's working. You cut it down into half. And on top of it too, that's the only way you're going to get it really to work. And plus you got to add on programs to this to get it to work correctly. So make sure if you're going to buy this CPU that you update your BIOS, you update the software, and now AMD has additional software with this processor. And you have to download it and you have to install it. So you're installing more crap that they're putting on for this CPU. On the other hand, if you go over here to the i9 13900, Intel's not asking you to install all that crap, and plus their frequency speeds, if you're an overclocker, are going above 6 gigahertz. Okay, 6 gigahertz. Okay, this might have PCI Express Gen 5 16 lanes. Okay, but this one right here gives you all the L2, L1, L2, L3, eCore L1, eCore L2. You know, they split all that up in their caches. So they did something that's pretty good. But 36 megs shared, that means it's broke. If it's saying shared, okay, that means this is broke up into pieces. Doesn't mean you're going to get a whole 36. Now understand that. And just like with AMD, it's all broke up into pieces per core. So understand that, per core, you got a certain amount of cache that's going per core. Okay. Now, with 24 cores and 32 threads compared to 16 cores and 32 threads, I think with Intel right now, and if they upgraded their software for their processor and brought it up just a bit higher. I think you know, I mean, I have no doubt in my mind Intel's going to take the lead. The reason why I say this is because AMD's not taking the lead on creator content. They're focused more on their gaming than they are their creator content. Y'all can look at different reviewers and look at all their different stats, okay? But I could tell you this. AMD's not there yet, okay? They have the right idea, but they're going in the wrong direction, okay? They want to add more cache to their CPUs, but they're going in the wrong direction. I mean, you could stack it a little bit differently than the way they stacked it. You know, there's other things they could have cut and moved to where they don't have that latency problem. They could have took part of the V-cache, cut it into half, took part of the programming on something else and stuck it on top of where the V-cache is, and then moved V-cache over to a different area and split the load in between both ends of the CPU to where you got the high end and you got the low end, and you take and you split the amount of V-cache in between both. No, they stick it all onto one little die on top of what they have right there, instead of spreading it out evenly. And this is a smart move. If you're making a processor and your GPU die, or your CPU die, my bad, not GPU, CPU. Your CPU die is broke up into different strains. So you got your center strain, you put part of your V-cache there. You got, these little chiplets, you put part of it there, part of it on another one, part of it on another one, part of it on another one, and spread it all through. And then have it come into where the programming, have it come into one area. So you spread it out through the whole CPU into different areas to lighten the load, to increase the amount of productivity. But that's just my idea. If it was me, that's the way I would have done it. I'm just letting you know what I think on it. But as far as price, I can tell you, if I were to go on Amazon, just as a normal consumer, and I was going to go shopping, and I said, okay, I want to do the 13900K. Okay. So, I got the 13900K. Well, they got the KS. But I'd rather have the K. I want you to all look at this very carefully. 13900K right here. Now, look at this one. Look at the KS. Okay. What is the difference? What is the difference? Look. The wattage on the $569.70 one, 253. 253 watts compared to 150 watts. Now, if a processor's doing 253 watts, okay, that processor's working. It's working. That's the whole idea. You want it to work, okay? You want it to get up to a good max. If you got a AIO water cooling system in there, and you're keeping it nice and cool, and it's staying right at about 60 to 65 C, and you have no problems with it whatsoever. This is the processor to go with. Okay, because look, if you got a $569 chip, right? Okay, think about it. Supports everything. You go down here and you go and you look for an Asus gaming motherboard. Okay, just say Asus gaming motherboard combo. Okay, $1,194.97. Now, let's go to Amazon again. I'm taking you along with me, so stick with me on this. And let's say I want to look for the 7950 X3D. Okay. Now, you think Amazon's selling it? No. Okay, so we can't find it here at Amazon. Let's go to Newegg. Let's see if we can find it there. See, this is what you got to go through being a consumer, building your own PCs. So we go 7950 X3. Did I put XE? Yeah, I did. X3D. Okay, so where are you going to get it there? It's not there. So let's go to Micro Center. Let's go to Micro Center. Okay, this should be out on the market. Launch time, I think the launch time's next week, but you think they would have been smart enough to put it out as a, as an incentive. So I guess not. So we know Micro Center doesn't have it listed. We know Newegg doesn't have it listed. We know Amazon doesn't have it listed. So let's go ahead and look and see what we can come up with. See, that's the thing. You would think you would think that AMD would have it all over the place. It would be like getting ready for the next week on its launch day, but guess what? You don't see a damn thing. Some reviewers already got it. I know I didn't get it because they don't even look at me as being in their wheelhouse, but I can tell you this. When I do get it and I do review it, and if it's crap, I'm going to make sure all my subscribers and new subscribers know that it's crap. And, from what I'm seeing right now, and if y'all want to know, the cheapest processor right now is the i9 13900K. If you're going to go mid-level, this is the way to go mid-level. Okay. Still you get the RAM and everything else. Your $500 motherboard, you could probably get it cheaper. You could probably get this for yeah, it's still going to be the same. So, I mean, you can still probably get it below $1,000, but you know, you're if you're still looking to go high end, you're still looking at to do 2,000. I mean, if you're looking, I wouldn't say this is really high end. Unless it's like Threadripper or, something like that, that's, got more cores than this, then I can say, that's high end. But something like this, I can't say it's really high end. But it really is a really good processor. From what I'm seeing right here, Intel is giving AMD a run for their money. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. So, but anyway, I'm not going to make this a forever video. I just want to let y'all know what's coming. And it's going to be here this week sometime. I haven't seen the date yet. AMD will be getting the date out there soon. So I'm sure some reviewers already got the processor and they're already reviewing it. And you know how it goes. But hopefully I'll get you the information you need. So if you decide you want to buy the 7950 X3D, which I'm right now, until I sample it and tell you all what it's about, I'm not going to recommend it. From what I've seen and from what friends are telling me as they sampled it, because they got a hold of it, they're telling me that, you're best off to go with the Intel. But that's just their opinion, and I got my opinion, and my opinion is this. I've seen some of the benchmarks that have been thrown out there, and I can see the good and the bad, that you got to jump hoops like usual. With all new processors, you have to jump hoops in order to get it to that processor to run 100%. And you got with the consumer that doesn't do overclocking and everything else, I can see this is not going to be an easy time when you go to buy this. Unless you put everything on automatic and put PBO on automatic, put everything on automatic, and just go from there. That's the best way I can tell you to do this at this point. Because I have this computer set on automatic all the way from soup to nuts. So this way, the computer controls it all, but with the catch, it doesn't control the RAM. That I do control. Processor speed, the computer controls it. Far as the integrated graphics, I control it. I got it locked at 2300 megahertz, and I got the memory locked at 1600 megahertz. And now with the amount of RAM that's used from the computer, I have that set on auto. I put it on automatic, and that's the way I leave it. Because if it needs more RAM to run a program, then it can pull more RAM. If the program recognizes that function, it can pull it with that, no problem. So I'm leaving it at that. But as far as the processor, the 7950 X3D, it's a great processor, don't get me wrong. If you love AMD, then that'll be the processor for you. But if you're looking to go on a budget, I would go with the 5800 X3D because it's still got its name up in there. And I know with this motherboard right here, I can get a 5800 X3D on here. So I really don't have to struggle with the fact of wanting to get the X3D version. I can run it off of my computer. And I can set everything perfectly to where it runs low key and it runs, I get maximum bandwidth and everything else. So I don't foresee that being an issue. But what I do see as an issue is that you haven't subscribed. Make sure you subscribe. It would help out the channel to get the channel to 1,000 hours. Or not 1,000 hours. 1,000 subscribers. And make sure you watch all the videos that get us to 4,000 watch hours. We want to get monetized. That way we can go to our next goal, which at the end of the year, we're hoping for 100,000 subscribers. 1,000,000 subscribers would be awesome. And 1,000,000,000 subscribers, I would fall to the floor. So, but anyway, we're going to jump out of here. I just want to let you know what's going on. So until the next time and the next video, this is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on the next one.